Hiya, my name's David. I am the Wandering Ponderer. I'm out wandering, I'm out pondering, and this video takes me down Abbey Lane towards the Abbey, a little continuation to the previous video which was on the history of the river. In actual fact, two bits of river, the same river. The segment that the Cistercian monks carved and the original path of the river. And I'll down here at the Abbey, I will show you each of the pieces and where they converge. But this is nice because look, I've got horses. I love horses. And the story of the horse is another video altogether. But it's nice to know, talking of horses, see these horse chestnut blossoms, look. Now, I brought my trusty guide with me. And there's more horses in a field over there, excuse my laughing. But I've shown you this before. But this is St. Nicholas Chapel. This is part of the original Abbey, and it was built by the Cistercian monks. The bricks might look big on the screen, but they're not, they're tiny. The brickwork, these bricks were actually made, the bricks around the windows and over there around the windows, they were actually made by the Cistercian monks. The same people who built the new cut of the river. The monks. And they were quite talented monks. Where they learnt their skills from, probably other monks. I'm finding now this piece of paper, this is handy. It says here that the Abbey was built in 1140. Now there's not hardly anything of the Abbey itself remains. There might be some ruins hidden somewhere, and you know me, I like ruins. I like to go and hunt them out, but because it's all private land, I don't think that's a possibility at this stage. But just imagine how skilled these monks were. Not just sitting around singing and chanting all day, they grew all their own food. It was an abbey, and solitude and silence, and yet the monks cut the river, recut that piece of the river that goes under the bridge that we saw. to bring water down to the mill, which is down here. And it tells me the water mill to the south of the abbey, it was once a silk mill and later converted to grind corn, and it is still in working order. Oh, to be able to see that, well, who knows? If somebody local is watching, please private message me. If you want me to do a video on the mill, and I would love to do a video on the mill. I would love to do a video on the abbey. There's lots of mysteries about the abbey. It just gives you an idea of how protected this area is, in the sense, or area was, when the monks were here. They had their own chapel. They kept themselves to themselves in a lot of ways, but also they had their instructions from the abbot. This is all the stables. I will show you some of the abbey, what's left of it. Behind there is a house, but these buildings here are little bits of what was left of the abbey, and of course they're utilised as farm buildings now, and some of them have been altered to accommodate people living here as well. And look at this one, the same style as the chapel, same brickwork, same bricks, tiny little original bricks, and the flint work. The same monks actually built the arches on the bridge by the river. Now that bridge has been repaired and altered and modernised over the years, so it's not the same as when the monks were here. But some of the original brickwork does remain. Now if you like footpaths, this is what you should be looking at. The Essex Way. This is part of the Essex Way walk, and it's full of history and full of nature. But this bit of river here, that's part of the same cut that we saw going under the bridge down in the town. Not the little cut. The little cut is over there. This is the bit that the Cistercian monks built. Goes under this bridge down here. That is the working watermill. And if ever there was an opportunity, I would take it to actually see that. That would be interesting, but we can only hope. But what amazes me is how the monks were so skilled in order to achieve all this by hand. Now this is the original river. This little bit, and the bit that goes over this bridge here meets this a bit further down. There it goes up. It goes up past the Co-op supermarket where we saw the floods in a previous video, and goes up to that little channel that this is the second bridge, the little iron railed bridge. It goes under there, a tiny channel, and you can see how slow moving that is. There's not much of a force of water going down there. I'm gonna take you quite quickly to where the river converges with the portion that the monks built, and that in turn heads down to another mill. That little bit in there. And this, of course, you can see how slow that's moving down there. And that's the water that's come out of the Abbey mill, joining this original course of the river here. And is now being, under the design of the river at this point, is now being powered up to drive a second mill. And as we get nearer, you can hear the weir. This is the weir. Now, at this point, I don't know whether this was dug and they just used the normal piece of river, or whether that was dug to drive it down to the mill. And who dug that bit? These are things we need to find out. These are things that are not actually in the guide. But as you can see, the mill at this point has done its job, and the water returning to the river. Was this the normal course of the river, or was this a side spill dug out? I don't know. Maybe it was the normal course of the river. Maybe it could have come round here and round, snake round, because it does snake. It snakes round the bottom there. And there is the other weir. See how messy this is round here. But that tree's still alive, that one that's lying in the water. When you think 1140, the history of the Abbey mill, 1140, 12th century, the oak tree, the honeywood oak at Marks Hall, is over 800 years old. That takes her to about 12, 21, somewhere around there, as a small oak tree. That's a long history, and that's a lot of Coggeshall's history she would have seen. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope there's enough in it for you to have a wonder at. Don't forget, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube and stay safe. I will see you in the next video.